What's going on there, everyone, and welcome back to the video from the Demon Overlord. Now today, guys, I bring you another great video. To all the newbies to the channel, and as well as my loyal subscribers, welcome. Now, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, guys, today we're going to be talking about some awesome miniatures that came from WizKids. Now, my order finally showed up, and I have been chomping at the bit to open these bad boys up and take a look inside. Now, without further ado, let's bring them up on the table, shall we? And here we are, the Snowbound set from Icons of the Realm. Now, as far as I know, this doesn't seem to be some type of amalgamation between the Magic the Gathering and Wizards universe, or the D&D universe, because it's already been done through Theros and Ravnica, but this one. So I have no clue what's in this set. The only thing I know for sure was the premium miniatures, the only one I've seen. Everything else is box art because I've seen some of the minis on it. So let's read this. Whether sailing across the sea or trudging across the tundra, arriving in the snowy north is a journey fraught with peril. Once there, adventurers will have to contend with a wide variety of monsters while also battling the elements. Snowbound provides you with a myriad of options for foes to strike at your party from the snowdrifts. Very nice. And this set has a nice menagerie of monsters for your combat, such including the Gelvin Mage, the Skeletal Sentinels. You could also encounter a Warforged Titan on your epic adventures through the snow. Very nice. Now, let's have the sort of opening first. Cut this plastic because it's like literally, I can feel it burning in my hands to do it. Oh boy. And then we're going to take a quick little look at this box itself so you can see what I know going in, because if you don't know anything about it, kind of get a little bit of knowledge. Let's switch over to my other camera, shall we? Now, as we can see here with a nice little three-dimensional rotation of this bad boy, or sorry, just a nice little rotation, you can see there is a white dragon Wormling in this set. Looks pretty cool. I always love to get my hands on more Wormlings. We also have what looks to be a snow golem, awakened tree, a cool goblin war cart. And we also get a lovely look at the front here, which has some nice artwork, and I really do like the artwork here we're dealing with. Then here on the other side, we have the Warforged Titan, some mages, a Yanogu, and a skeletal. This looks to be a great box, and I am really looking forward to opening up and showing you guys what awesome miniatures could be lying within these snowy drifts. Let's open it up and take a look and let the sort of opening do its job. Now, I know I said I was going to get right into it, but I just want to go over a little more detail. So I really love the artwork on the front of this. That lovely little, like, ship going across some frozen ground with the nice icebergs and mountains in the background. It looks really cool. Now, on the side here, we have the Awakened Tree. I just want to go over a little more before I get into it. And I really want an Awakened Tree because I've always wondered what, like, it's a good mini that's also good for a creature / piece of terrain. You also have the Goblin Battle Wagon. I really hope to get that one. That'd be really cool to have a nice, cool polar bear drawn wagon. The Snow Golem is a little goofy to me, only because he has, like, a little bit of a dumpy fat body, and then he's got, like, the weird teeth, but no eyes are looking to him, which is really weird. And then we have like a Warforged Titan, another one I'd look forward to getting. I mean, those are awesome. We have a Knoll Fang of Yanogu, which nothing wrong with getting more Knolls. I just really hope one day they make a Yanogu mini that's like similar to Orcus, just an awesome classic premium miniature. A Skeletal Sentinel and a Gelvin Mage. Now, I'm looking forward to any of these miniatures. I'm literally wanting anything from this box. So let's get inside this thing, see what minis we're going to get for this brick, and begin, shall we? So here we have the first big boy of the set, the Ice Troll. Now, I gotta say, when I thought about this troll originally, I thought it might be a little weird looking, but it doesn't look too bad. Kind of looks like you could use him as some other miniature. I mean, you could probably use this to represent a Wendigo if you don't have one or something like along those lines, but really, this is a cool troll. I love his design. He's more of the gangly troll that we're actually expecting. Just basically, it's like they took kind of a Yeti and a Bigfoot and a troll and smashed them together. I love the hairy troll here. I don't know why. I just like this big furry troll. I mean, I guess actually, you know, technically I feel this kind of goes more on the whole Scandinavian trolls. They had more like fur. And I mean, those are really cold countries. So maybe it makes sense that the frost troll, or in this case, the ice troll, I don't know why I said frost. And I kind of like the pink parts on them where you would think those parts would be a little lighter color. And I love those big claws. And like I said, I just love his gangly appearance. Gangly appearances make him look really troll-like, as in D&D lore. Trolls are not usually big, hulking brutes. They're actually more of a ganglier muscular troll, like kind of more like a gibbon, where they're thinner, but they're still very muscular. Very nice. Wizards of the Coast and Wiz Kids, you have blown this troll out of the park. Or in this case, froze him to the far north. Very nice. Let's move on. And the only other thing I'd say is really this just helps bring more troll options to those players who need a difference than just a standard old boring troll. Very nice. And one more thing I did forget about the Frost Troll. Its number. I've actually forgotten numbers for a while in my videos, but this is number 26 out of 46. Really interesting, and I really look forward to seeing what other cool miniatures we get that came along with him for the medium to large class. Let's take a look, shall we? And here we have number 7 out of 46, the Psychic Gray Ooze. Now, in my opinion, this guy is a little bit too dark to be your standard Gray Ooze. He kind of strikes me more as a pudding, like black almost, which I'm not sure why they kind of did that. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my focus here. Now, honestly, I do like this Gray Ooze. It's interesting because it's a Psychic Gray Ooze, so I don't know what kind of weird stat blocks that will be. If they ever do release a Snowbound book, I might have to snag it if it just happens to be basically a monster expansion for the monster manual. I mean, this is an interesting thing. I've never heard of a Psychic Ooze before. The only Ooze I ever heard of that had any type of intelligence was the White Maw, but it was like a linked thing to another being, and very interesting. I mean, like, And I like the design. I love the sort of dynamic flow going on here. We've had Gray Oozes in the past from both Pathfinder and D&D, and they've been not super impressive, but this one, if he was a little more gray, I think he would have been perfect. But I really do like it. So very well done, Wiz Kids. Your sculpts are looking great. And Wizards of the Coast, your ideas are coming through beautifully. And here we have number 13 out of 46, the Kanban. Now, if you don't know what a Kanban is, basically, guys, these are your very interesting sort of demonic folk. Could use it for a winged tiefling if you really wanted to. Now, this lovely demonic lady is just, or devil lady, whatever. She's just sitting there with a lovely design on her face. She's just holding her spear ready to go into combat. Very nice. Now, my only thing with this Kanban is I wish she had a little bit more personality, maybe a little more pose. She's kind of got this weird sort of straight up standing pose. Now, there have been Kanbans in the past that don't have wings and some that do, so this must be a winged variant, so really cool at least for that. I wish her other hand, if she was going to be standing like this, maybe it had at least a fireball in it. Something to really help kind of push it to be more impressive to look at the table. But hey, nothing wrong with getting another cool Kanban to add to your inventory for a DM, or if you want to have a player who wants to be a Kanban. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, she looks pretty cool and very nice. Let's move on from an old Unlucky 13 to the next mini of this first box. So here we have number 18 out of 46, the Dryad. Now, Dryads are your classic forest sort of fey creature that likes to inhabit a tree. Now, she does, as you can see, has a little bit of the bendy mini syndrome, but nothing wrong with that. Nothing a little hot water can't fix. Now, a little 18 here. She's very nice. It's very nice to see a Dryad that's getting a unique pose. Kind of a little bit more dynamic. I mean, not really sure what the design was here, if that's supposed to be like a leafy dress or what. It's I gotta say, the paint job's a little bit kind of muddied on it. I wish there was a little bit more detail for this Dryad, just to like kind of a little more color changing. It's a lot of green. But I mean, honestly, overall, she is still lovely to look at. So very nice. Very nice. I gotta say, could be a little better. I wish a little more like humanish tones maybe in the face and in the chest, on the arms and legs to help kind of pop them a little bit away. So a little like maybe lighter green would have been nice on the body. It's like a very light green instead of this sort of a more sage-ish dark green, like, or sort of this more dusky green, like leaf cover. But you know what? Hey, it's still nice to get another Dryad. So someone who's looking for a Dryad mini, here's a good option for it, I would love to say. And it looks pretty good on that nice clear base as WizKids and Wizards of the Coast have switched to, as well as Pathfinder. Very nice. And here we go, guys. A surprise nonetheless. The Warforged Titan I was hoping to get my hands on. Oh man, this big hulking mecha boy is really nice. He's actually a lot bigger looking than the package made him look. See, the base makes him look like he's really tiny, but man, he literally fills that huge base beautifully. I love the nice effect on his hammer. Now, in the picture on the case, it looks so much like he's actually striking the ground. And I don't know if maybe he's been warped or not, but I mean, it looks like it's actually, that's his stance. He looks really cool. I love this sort of like reddish eyes, but this big hammer smashing with what looks to be like thunderous smite, maybe a frosty slam, like a frost smash. I don't know, but I love his giant axe. He's got ready to swing and smash any opponent, or possibly if you're using this guy to fight. I'm sorry, I'm sort of shocked that one of the minis I really want to get my hands on, second draw out of the box, we get the big Warforged. Man, this is just impressive. That is one beautiful miniature, and I so look forward to just having one of these things. I mean, I was tempted to buy the unpainted, but now I'm glad I don't have to go the effort of painting all the mechanical gears and stuff on those big bads. But this is just a really awesome Warforged. Woo! I mean, trust me, I love my mini painting, but man, to get one like this in the second draw is now just got my hopes up for what I'm getting with the rest of this brick. Whiz Kids and Wizards of the Coast. You guys spoil me. Oh, I love it. Awesome. Moving on to the little ones that accompany this big, bad, beefy mech daddy. And also to clarify, his number is number 36 out of 46. So let's move on. Sorry, 34 out of 46. I don't know why I said 36, but 34 out of 36. Just to clarify and correct myself. Now, this one is a surprise. We have the Ice Method. Now, I do have the Earth Method, or the Dust Method from before, and I gotta say, I like him. He's really well used. I love his sort of like kind of creepy flay goblin look to him, that creepy pointed nose, the wings flying back like that. Like, he has this sort of sharpness to him that you would actually assume with a creature made of ice. But man, he really does not like showing up on the camera really well. I should have maybe gone with a black background. Might have helped pop him more, but man, he is one creepy and cool looking miniature, and I love those flight bases. I gotta say, ever since they switched these lovely, like, sort of swish flight space, they just have so much more interesting, like, it makes the mini just look better than a simple peg. So I really love it. It allows them to have that flight style, but look really cool. And this actually saves me the trouble of taking one of my old little dust methods or whatever and actually repainting it. So awesome. I like getting a method. It's a nice little ice elemental to throw at your players. That's a little more of the mischievous and evil side. And this mini's number is number 12 of 46. So another miniature. No duplicates so far. Let's keep the fingers crossed. So far, Wizards of the Coast and Wiz Kids have been doing very well at making it so you don't get a lot of duplicates and bricks, at least for mine. So let's move on to the next small medium guy from this set. Next up, we have what I believe how you pronounce it, the Daregoloth, number 22 out of 46. Now, this miniature is known in the Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes because a lot of the demons and stuff that are introduced in that set. And this guy is pretty cool. I like his multiple arms. And now in the book, it says like he spins around and attacks. I could see it with this guy. Now, man, he's just so unique. I wish his paint job was a little cleaner in the face so you get those better details. But hey, it's nice to get another of the Yugoloths to add to the whole option. So when you're in hell, you're not always dealing with demons or devils. Very nice, Wiz Kids. Very good choice. Let's move on. Not much to say with this guy. Unfortunately, he's just pretty basic. But we're going to move on to the next box, shall we? And see, or the next miniature of this box, the next medium guy. So next up, we have a named character, which usually, I don't know if that automatically means rare, but we have Dolpha. I'm not sure if I'm saying that. Dolpha, number 38 out of 46. And she looks to be possibly a dwarf, like a blue dwarf, maybe, like a frost dwarf or something like that. I'm not really 100% sure what she is. Like I said, I don't know much about the Snowbound lore, but as you can see, she's very well decked out in a nice, lovely fur coat. Got some long hair, some blue skin. I don't know what she is supposed to be, but she does look pretty cool, and I gotta like her sculpt. She's simple, but that simplicity works very well for a nice, good creature of the Frosty North. So really nice. I like this named creature. She looks pretty cool. Now, let's dive into the next box and see what big bad we are introduced with, or possibly big good. So next up, we have number 29 out of 46, the Big Bad Frosty Polar Bear. Now, I'm going to say one thing. I think his face painting could have been done a little better. I think the eyes got a little derped. But you know what? He's still got a nice, cool standing, imposing growl and aggressive pose. But I will say one thing. He looks thin. Compared to the polar bear I got when I got the unpainted Wiz Kids, or deep cuts polar bear, this guy looks really kind of scrawny. Like, he looks thin. He doesn't look as big. Like, he looks like he'd be longer than the brown bear miniature, which you could compare him to, but he just looks like his body mass, like the stomach, the chest, everything, his arms, bulk looks really thin when you compare it to the other bear miniatures out there. But I mean, I will say this, he is quite tall. I mean, he's definitely got the height, but he needs more of a little bit in the bulk, I think, to make him look better. But honestly, overall, it's always nice to get another animal, and not just a normal animal. We're getting a nice polar bear, so not just your standard brown bear once again. Very nice, WizKids, very nice. And I mean, you do see some nice, lovely definition going on in the fur design and the chest and stuff. A little bit of gap in the arms and stuff, but you know what? Still a nice miniature overall. Now let's see what medium class minis came with this big bad bear of the north. So here we have number 1 of the 46, the Chardolin Berserker. Now, obviously, we just have basically your kind of savage, barbarian-esque rampager. I guess he would be the Berserker class if you had to make him as a barbarian. If you were playing a Berserker barbarian, you could use this guy. Now, I don't know why he's in the frozen north and has no shoes on and no coat. I mean, I guess I can see why not to wear the coat because, you know, full movement of the arms while you're swinging around your ball and chain there. But why no shoes? Nothing's worse for a Berserker that when he's rampaging and wiping out an enemy or attacking a group, protecting his fellow barbarians, that he's freezing his toes off. Like, man, frostbite ain't worth it. Very interesting ideal there to give him a barefooted barbarian in the frosty north or in the snowbound realm. Very interesting, but I like his design. I wish the chain was a little bit farther from his head. Maybe I'll hit it with a little hot water and kind of bend it back so it's a little bit farther away from his head, because it looks like he's literally kind of looks like he's about to just go and clonk himself in the old noggin and take himself out. I mean, nothing's easier for your enemies when you just take yourself out before they get a chance. But pretty cool. I mean, it's nice to see some different classes instead of just saying a standard barbarian. So pretty cool. I like it. I like the idea of it. Just, I wish he had some boots on. My only gripe, really needs boots, and that's kind of really the only thing I could say needs fixing it, but really cool. Moving on. And from number 1, we go to number 6, the Durgar Hammerer. Now, if you guys didn't know, hammerers are created when a Durgar is put inside of a mechanical body, and their pain and stuff helps make this thing run supposedly efficiently. Now, this is what I remember from what I've read in the lore of them. Pretty interesting. It's unique to see a Durgar Hammerer. I haven't really seen a Hammerer miniature like since back when I think, what was it, Hasbro or Bandai was making I think Hasbro was making the miniatures for D&D, and there was an old Hammerer. So it's really interesting to see basically kind of like your mech'd up, I kind of want to say Iron Man'd up or suited up Durgar in this Hammerer outfit that's going to basically smash you with a hammer. And I kind of find it interesting he's got like a giant ice claw, or what do you call those things? Like a nice ice grabber right there on the left side. Like, very nice. I mean, I love the Durgar face, though. I wish his skin was a little bit lighter so that he would be a little more obvious from the suit. He blends in a little bit too much, but luckily the big white beard kind of helps bring the point that he is still, you know, a mortal inside this mechanical torture shell. So really cool. I like it. I do like it, though. It's very nice. It's awesome the hammer get remade. So really cool. Really cool. Let's move on to the next medium class miniature of the box, shall we? And one that I really think looks pretty cool. Next up, we have the Deva. That's right, we have an angelic being added to this set, and it's very nice. Once again, the lovely flight base that gets away from that old peg system gives us a nice, stronger hold. Now, if you didn't know, a Deva is basically kind of like your average foot soldier. They're your standard medium class angels that fly into battle before the Planetars and the Solars. And, I mean, honestly, he looks pretty cool, though. I like his dynamic pose. He's flying in, swinging his weapon, and ready to maybe take out some devils, take out some demons, whatever his lord has, you know, granted him the permission to do. Now, he does have a little bit, as you can see, the bendy weapon syndrome, and he might be a little warped himself, but I think, like I said, a dunk in some boiling water for a quick second will fix that right up. And very nice. It's nice to get another Angelical Celestial added to the old repertoire, as I don't have a Deva in the collection. I do have a Planetar. I don't have a Solar yet, but now I have the Deva. So really cool. And now let's move on to the next box, shall we? And moving on from number 15. Well, here we have in my opinion, a less impressive miniature. It is number 32 out of 46, the Hill Giant. And as you can see, he is coming in with a big old strong, I'm gonna smash you with my club style. Unsurprising for these unintelligent brutes. I mean, technically, yes, they are some of the most physically yoked to body size to muscle ratio of the Giants, but they are still dumb as a post. And his paint job, as you can see, kind of suffered. I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't mind that he's wearing sandals. He's got a loincloth, but I don't understand the mark on the stomach there and the weird sort of lines, waviness going on in the belly. His arms do have a little bit of a gappage there where the arm meets the body. It's kind of a little disappointing, and the face paint is very bland. He doesn't look that impressive, but hey, you know what? I don't have a male hill giant from WizKids. I only have like Reaper ones, so I'll take it. It's not too bad. Maybe I might repaint this guy to give him a cleaner paint job of the skin, or maybe a more grungier look to him. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to fill in those gaps. Well, anyway, it's always nice to get another giant, I guess. So that's pretty cool. I wish he had more of a frosty hill giant appearance, like a little more cloth, like and maybe some fur stuck on him a little more. But let's move on with those ones that accompanied him in his box, shall we? Next up, we have number 39 out of 46, the Sea Hag. Now, I don't have a WizKids Sea Hag, so this is not a bad thing. Now, the last Sea Hag I did receive came from the Path Miniatures from Canada. So if you guys want to check out that video, you can see all the cool minis we get from that set. But yeah, here we have a nice, lovely Sea Hag. Got some green, grungy hair, the weird, creepy, pale blue skin, those weird feet. Man, I don't know how... If hags have to need other species to reproduce, I don't know how they trick someone with that. Maybe Tritons might find it somehow alluring. I don't know. That's just one. Ugh. I see that coming out of the water. I'm getting out. I'm out. I have no interest to stick around even to fight this thing. It's just... Like, you can see the only downside also in the cloth there, her loincloth. Some of her skin tone seems to have blotched into it, so a little hard there. But I don't have a Sea Hag, so it's really cool to get one. Like I've always said, I can always touch these things up and give a little touch up to make them neater, a little cleaner, a little bit better on some of those edges. But it's nice to get a Sea Hag. I think it's a very interesting choice in the cold waters to have those Sea Hags breaking out from the cold waters to grab you, pull you in, and kind of do the drowner style and drown you till you pass out in the cold water and die. And then they take your soul or whatever they want. Possibilities. Anyway, moving on from this lovely, creepy critter, and moving on to the next beastie. Next up, we have number 24, the Quagoth. Now, as you can see, he does sort of break the mold on your standard Quagoth design. I mean, I've seen Quagoths that look more like giant catmen, and then I've seen some that have this white appearance, very similar to this guy in stance and posture, but this blue and that weird greenish face, I'm not sure what I think of it. I'm not sure if I love it. I'm not sure if I hate it. I just don't know. I mean, I like the fur design, and there is a little bit of gappage when you get this close to the miniature, but, I mean, I'm not sure whether it's that blue. It might be the blue with this slightly greenish, yellowish hue, and then the greenish face there. But maybe that's how the Quagoths are in the north. I don't know. Maybe Quagoths have evolved a bluish color to help them hide in the snow. I just don't understand the face. Like, why is it so green? Like, it's got this greenish yellow hue. Like, what's going on there? I mean, it's definitely interesting. I'll give WizKids that. They made an interesting miniature to look at. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to see what he looks like in the picture with the Snowbound. Whenever the Snowbound book comes out, I'll take a look and see if maybe the Quagoth's looks have changed. I don't know. Maybe I'm behind the times. But, you know what? He is interesting. Maybe you could use him as an alpha Quagoth, where he's like a little bit more on the unique side, so he stands out from the other Quagoth minis that are more white. So, yeah, I gotta say, you know, not too bad, not too bad. Maybe it's starting to grow on me. I don't know why. The more I look at this miniature, the more his color's starting to grow on me. So, yeah, not bad. Let's move on to the last one of this box, shall we? And number 8 out of 46, the Griffin Hatchling. And I gotta say, this threw me through a loop. I didn't know they were gonna do a baby Griffin. It's kind of cute. It's derpy cute, which you'd expect from a hatchling animal. I love how it's kind of falling on its arm there, like it's just plopping over, and the little cat side is the side that stays up while the eagle side falls on its face. Like, it's cute and derpy at the same time. I love it. I love little minis like that are just cute little animal, except like basically new animals. Now, I think he's supposed to be a small creature, not a large or medium, obviously not large. But it's a nice creature to throw where a group member could find one of these things and raise it, and then your group could have a mount. Or that character could just have the mount. And it's really cool. I like it. I like how they're getting some more of these life stages of animals, too. So not only the dragons have dragon hatchling miniatures or wormlings and all that, but now even the griffins get their own baby. Now we just need some baby rocks, juvenile rocks type feel, and maybe like some other like wolf pups or something like that. You know, some other cool life stage cycles of creatures for the D&D monster manual sort of expansion you need as being a DM. This is a nice one to have because now you can set down this hatchling in a actual nest setup, and maybe your group comes upon this nest. There's a hatchling, and now the mom and dad griffins show up and they fight you. Now you have a reason to actually, be attacked by these griffins more than just like, oh, they were hungry. Now they actually have one to protect their brood. So really cool. I like that. I like that, Wizards, and I like that. Really nice. Now let's get into the next box, shall we? So here we have number 44 to 46. And one I didn't think that was going to be in Snowbound, the Micanoid Sovereign. And no, you did not hear me wrong. It's literally the Sovereign of Micanoids, like a high-level ranking sort of leader to the Micanoid species. Very unique. I like where he's going with this design. Like, his design is very dignified. Like, he has a presence to him. I don't know what it is, but he just has that presence that you look at him and think he must be the boss or something. Like, very, like, wow, I really like it. I don't know what it is. It's like that idea of, like, I've come across him, I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what you've got, but I like it. I like this Micanoid. He has some personality in just his little slightly, look at me, I am the leader of the Micanoids. Like, and this is cool. I don't have a sovereign level leader for any of my Micanoids, of my bruisers or my guardians. Like, now I have something that can be the boss of the Micanoid, so I can have a Micanoid village type deal. Really cool. And number 44, guys. Moving on to the smaller guys who accompanied him. Now, here we have number 2 of the set, a Hypnose Mage. I have no clue what the Magen are, but I'm guessing they're a race that seems to be introduced in Snowbound, and this must be the warrior class. He's got a crossbow there on his back. He's got himself a nice big two-handed sword, maybe a long sword to a great sword. I'm thinking more long sword, but, could be great sword. He has a little bit of the bendy weapon. He's got at least some silver accents in his armor, like above the right eye. I don't know what the Demos are. Like, what are the Magen? Are they some type of blue-colored race? Are they just going to become like the Frost people or something? I don't know. This is something I'm going to have to look into. I love his design. I love the, like, sort of boot wraps that go down to his, like, boot shoes, and they kind of just tie in right into the spot there. He's got some nice armor going on. Like, man, this is interesting. I love the crossbow and the bolts there. Like, I love this mini, because if you were playing a Magen character, maybe there are even a character race that comes with it as you can play. I mean, here you go. You want to be a ranger to fighter class Magen? This guy is going to work really well for you. Really nice. I mean, I got to say, well done, Wizards. Well done to make this interesting, different styles for the Magen. Really nice. Let's move on to the next one, though, from number 2 to the next bad boy. From number 2, we jump to number 4, the Hypnose Mage. Now, like I said, I have no clue what these Magen are, but they seem to be kind of like a new race that just seems to be focused in this game. They seem to be very focused in this expansion, this Snowbound. They seem to be the main focus here. They have multiple different types. Like, you have the Gelvin Mage that looks to be more like a battle mage. It's like muscular and has spells. This guy, you have the Demos Mage who's the warrior. Now we got this Hypnose Mage. He's got kind of a little bit of a long neck. Like, his neck is longer than a normal mage, and it's got like a little goiter on the front there as well. Like, what is this? I mean, I need to look into these Magen characters and see what the heck they are, because they're already like versatile from just different Magen. Really weird. Let's see the other miniature of this box, shall we? And next up, we have number 16 of the 46, the Gargoyle. Now, normally in the book, it says gargoyles are like a tiny construct, but this one is obviously medium. And sorry, they're actually more like an elemental, since they are like an earth creature. But you can create them, and it's kind of cool. I like his design. He's not the standard stone gray or dark stone or like granite. He's got this really light colored stone, like maybe more of a marble to maybe more of like, I mean, I don't want to say sandstone, but like, he's really unique. I love the sort of light color on there. Gives them more of that light elemental look to him, which is pretty cool. And I gotta say, I like it. I do like it. It looks a lot like the one in the Monster Manual, and he looks pretty cool. And it's nice to see a medium class gargoyle and not have it come from the Ravenloft set or like the older gargoyle sculpt. Very nice. Very nice. On to our next box, number, what was it? 6 of our box. Sorry, I lost count for a second there. I've had so much fun opening these bad boys. I guess one good giant deserves another. Here we have the Stone Giant, number 33 out of 46. And I will say, compared to his Hill Giant companion, I like him. I don't have a male Stone Giant, really, except from the Tyranny of Dragons set. And I have the female one from Storm King's Thunder, but this one is a nice one. I like his design. He's got some nice shoes there. Got a very lovely fur tunic, I guess we'll call it. Then he's got this really big, beefy club. Like, wow, that is a intricate at the same time as beefy and just terrifying club. Like, getting crushed by that as a character, you're pretty much going to be flattened into blood paste. And he's got not a bad paint job. Now, as you can see, he does have a little bit of the bendy syndrome. Unfortunately, the bended body syndromes. But like I said, a little hot water is going to fix that right up. And I love his detail, though. He has lovely sculpt detail going on here in his design. The musculature, in the wraps, in the tunic, in the club itself, like this big stone club. His fur has lovely detail going on there on the backside and this like part of his tunic. Like, honestly, I like him. Unlike the Hill Giant, which to me I think was kind of a miss, this guy's got some personality, and I like it. I like a mini that has some style and personality and some flair. He's something you're going to sit on the table and go like, hey, let me take a second look at that. And you're like, nice. A very nice mini. Very nice. Now, moving on to the ones that follow him in the box. Now, here's a mini that won't be hard to see in the background. The Dust Method. Now, this actually helped me answer. I actually went and quickly looked. I actually have the Mud Method, not the Earth Method. But yeah, now I have a Dust Method, a whole nother type of method. And I gotta say, I like that he's on top of a little stone. This is number 11 out of 46, by the way. And he looks really cool. I love the sort of translucent, sort of dusty effect going on his backside there. That creepy pointed nose that Mephits are known for, that sort of goblinish appearance with these creepy, sharp bat-like wings. He looks really cool. Now, I gotta say, compared to the old Mephit, my Mud Mephit, for instance, they are really well made. My Mud Mephit had a lot of, like, kind of sloppier details, or the few of them I have. These ones have some lovely detail going on here. I love that I love the foot detail of him clawing into that base. He sits there, that sort of gargoyle-ish, like, menacing pose of, like, I'm gonna get you. Whether you're sleeping or awake, I'm gonna sneak in and get you. Like, I love it. Let me whip up a dust cloud and get you in the night. Really cool. I gotta say, I love this one, WizKids. I love the translucent sort of dust spell effect. Really nice. And the Magein Don't Stop, number 3, the Gelvin Mage. Now, this is the one that is actually on the box, which is cool. I got another one of the box minis. But I don't, like I said, I don't understand the Magein. Now, you can see he's got a little bit of the warp body. And honestly, his artwork on the box, of course, looks better than he does. But yeah, the blue, like the bluest skin on him is a lot darker in the box. More of a blue than it is this sort of green. But like I said, I got to look into what these Magein are for D&D, because maybe they're a new player class coming out. That's why there's like a Magein class. There's the Magein like Hypnose, the Magein like Demos. Like, I'm not sure what's going on there, but they're interesting. And I like his pose of the flight stand. It's a nice spot and very simplistic outfits, but they work really well for their race. So interesting. I'm gonna have to, like I said, I gotta look more into these Mageins. But let's get to the next mini that was in this box, because this is a very plain mini, so there's not a ton to go over, but very, very nice. I like the spell effect in the hands. The nice glowing orbs is kind of cool. Moving on. Here we have the terrifying Gnoll Fang of Yanogu. Some type of frosty-looking Gnoll beast that's got giant red claws. He kind of reminds me of like how I made that Champion of Yanogu with the blessed armor and the mark on his face, like as if it touched him with his hand to bless him, and now he's more powerful. This one has that sort of more savage, wild feel, which is what you want from Yanogu. And he is numbered 19 out of 46. And guys, I really do like the Gnolls. This Gnoll is not as beefy and giant as some of the other Gnolls, but maybe that's the point. He is a lot more like crouched over, and man, those big red hands make him look really aggressive, though he has more of a doggish face to him than a hyena. I really don't know why they're changing so much, but that is a nice miniature. It's always nice to get more Gnolls. Allows you to put together a very interesting, varied Gnoll pack. Very cool. On to the 7th box, shall we? We're getting close to the end of the brick. And if you come this far, guys, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Helps out a lot. And make sure you, in this case, frost smash that like button to help it get past that YouTube algorithm, and leave a comment or question down below, guys. And on top of that, make sure you put that bell notification to all, guys. That way you're not missing out on any videos I throw out in the future. And share this video with your friends, guys, so others can enjoy the awesome content. Anyway, moving on to box number 7. So here we have number 31 of 46, the Formian Giant. As you can see, he definitely continues having that nasty pustule skin with all the bumps and textures. He's got a simple club, simple loincloth. And to think at one point these giants were the most beautiful giants. It is hard to tell that from looking at these big, ugly, nasty boys. Man, they are just hard to look at. And honestly, you can tell, though, his hand on his club on the upper part is a little off, but maybe that's because he is resting it on his shoulder. But you know what? It's nice to see a Formian that's actually properly scaled. This one is on a huge base, unlike his Tyranny of Dragons counterpart, or the, was it Storm King's Thunder counterpart that actually, for some reason, was on a large base. But you can see he's got some nice personality. Yes, he is a little bit of the bendy character syndrome, but I'll fix that with some hot water dip. And you can see a little bit of the... Man, he's got some serious, though, nice separation lines there on the neck and the shoulder. Kind of a shame, but you know, it's still a nice miniature. I don't really have many of the Formians on correct bases. I still have yet to take those Formians off those old bases and rebase them on proper size, but that's a later project. Anyway, guys, moving on. Well, guys, it looks like in this box we got 2 repeats. We got the Gelvin Mage again and a Dust Method. Now, I'm not really concerned about getting a Dust Method duplicated, but the Gelvin Mage, I mean, this one is a lot straighter, so you see a lot more of the pose he's properly supposed to have and a little bit cleaner cloth design. So I'll take what I can get. It's not, I mean, to get only 2 duplicates so far is not too bad. Not too bad. It's not yet at the point where you're like, I should be concerned. But moving on to the unique one that did come in their box. Now, here we have number 26 out of 46, a playable race from Ghosts of Saltmarsh, the Loca. I think I said that correctly, Loca. These strange sort of catfish-looking, humanoidish-looking critters. Now, technically, I think these are a player race. I see no reason why you couldn't play them. I think it was in Saltmarsh they were introduced, or they're at least a race. I like the very simplistic design. He's got small fin stuff, so I'm assuming he's probably not the strongest swimmer. But you know what? He does have big floppy web feet, so maybe that's where most of his swim power is. I kind of like the tendrils coming off the face. The spears like kind of nice. He definitely has that fishy, derpy face, like just those big doll's eyes. But yeah, you know what? It's nice to get another playable race. Very nice. And it's not just a Sahuagin. We get a nice, cool, playable possible race if you want to play something that's kind of a little bit on the smaller, shorter side, more like a halfling, and just, you know, have some fun as the fishman of the group. Yeah, pretty cool. I like it. You know, I like it. I like this derby boy. Pretty cool. And he's new. Plus, I like that. New things. Always good. Very nice. Moving on to our last and final box. We're got the fingers crossed for that battle wagon. I'm a hoping. And the Wormling Dragon. Now, here we have number 20 out of the 46, the Snow Golem. Now, this is interesting. We don't have a golem made of snow yet in the book. Like I said, hopefully it comes with this expansion, I'm assuming. And I didn't think he was going to be large. By the way he looked on the box, I figured he was going to be a medium creature. But hey, I was impressed. And here he is holding this giant slushy snowball. And he's about to throw at you. Now, like I said, he has no eyes. He's just got this creepy mouth with teeth. Sort of a Lovecraftian feel to that. And he's got that sort of, what do you call, muffin top body. A little whoosh going on there. But you know what? It's cool to get another golem. Something interesting, especially in the tundras. You could see probably many of these things being made, since snow is probably easily plentiful. But very cool. Well, let's move on to the smaller medium class creatures that came with them and see what awesome ones we got there for our last box. Now here we have a miniature that, one, is not that impressive in paint, and 2, as you can see right there, there is an obvious missing of an appendage. I don't know if that's like supposed to be, but I'm kind of disappointed by this. The Micanoid Adult, number 9 of 46. Now obviously with the Micanoid Sovereign, I was hoping that I could get a Micanoid, considering we got the cool Sovereign, and then we get this. I mean, he's got some cool points, but he's way too bright and sort of bland. There's no wash going on here, so all of his details that are in the folds of him are kind of lost. And I mean, like, compared to the Micanoids I painted from the unpainted set, this one's kind of sad. Plus, he's armless. I'm now going to have to craft, and I've looked. His arm was not sitting in a box or dropped on the table when I pulled him out. Like, it's just gone. As you can see, he's just missing an arm. Someone has partially disarmed my Micanoid. Come on, Wizards. Should have been caught by somebody. Like, come on. And I don't know who painted him, but man, he needed a little more wash to help kind of pop those like mold lines going on there. He looks more like an alien than he does even a Micanoid. Like, I'm gonna have to craft him an arm out of green stuff. And honestly, because he's just a Micanoid, I'm gonna give him like tendril arms, because why not? Make him unique and different from my other Micanoids. Oh well. I mean, cool. I love the idea, but I mean, like, honestly, this one kind of falls short. He's a little less impressive to me than even like, I'm trying to think of the lamest mini I've gotten. I mean, they're all really cool, and then you get this guy who kind of just dropped the ball. Even the Gelvin or even the Daregoloth was more interesting, and he was very basic painted. This one, man, kind of shame, Wizards. Kind of a shame. I really hope they kind of do something about this. It's kind of a sad mini to look at. Well, anyway, let's move on to the next two and see what awesome ones we got there. And here we got another one of the boxed ones, the Skeletal Sentinel. To me, he screams the Draugr from the Skyrim game. If you played Skyrim, he looks just like a Draugr. And honestly, there are already Draugr minis out there, but this guy's kind of cool. I like his personality, the sort of fact he's got this nice armor that's not too beat up. Scrawny, skinny body with hair still surprisingly on it. Really nice. And he is number 5 out of the 46. I kind of like the sort of coldless expression on his face. Very nice. Well, let's get to the last miniature of the set. And hope this medium creature, when I pull it out of that sleeve, is the little dragon that I'm hoping for, because I love my dragons, and it's always cool to get another one. Let's take a look. And there he is, number 23 out of 46, the White Dragon Wormling. Okay, the universe just made up for the Micanoid. I'm going to have to probably give him a color touch up to get those edges, and I'm going to have to make him an arm, but here we go. The awesome Dragon Wormling, the White Dragon. Oh, I never got the White Dragon that was in Frostmade, but here we got the White Dragon Wormling from this one. Now, I will say this. He is not very white. He's more of a pale, almost gray sort of color. I don't know if White Dragon Wormlings come out that way, maybe to make them less impressive so they're less noticeable. You can see there's a little bit of offset in the mouth. I'm not sure what's going on there. I might need to kind of touch up some paint job in there to help fix that. But, I mean, hey, I love my dragons, man. The Demon Overlord, being a Dragonoid, loves his dragons. I mean, true, white dragons are some of the hardest to tame since they're kind of dumb brutes, but hey, I love getting more dragons, man. More dragons are awesome for me. They're always the hardest to get miniature. They're usually the rarest out there, and it's nice to get one. I mean, he's just at least icing on the cake to make up for the fact that we've gotten only 2 duplicates. We unfortunately got the very sad Hill Giant. We got that Micanoid missing an arm. Sorry, Wizards, you're going to keep hearing that. But in the end, we got some awesome stuff. Now let's get back to me for the final thoughts. Well, everyone, I thank you for being here this long in the video to check out all the cool miniatures I got from this awesome Snowbound set. Now, like I said, a shame I did not get the Goblin Battle Wagon or the Even Awakened Tree, but we did get a lot of cool ones and ones I didn't even know were in the set, such as a Sovereign. I did get the awesome Warforged Titan that I knew was in the set. We got the very awesome White Dragon Wormling, who currently is sitting on the shoulder of the Demon Overlord. Really cool. We've got the Formians, the Giant. I seem to be kind of a giant guy. I mean, I got 4 of the giants and Giantkin right here. We got the Formian, the Troll, Stone, and Hill Giant. Weird. Now, I really got to say, the set overall is very nice. I've only gotten 2 duplicates out of a whole brick. That is not bad. WizKids and Wizards of the Coast have really stepped up and kind of reducing that number I ever seem to get. Now, I'm not saying it's just me. I'm hoping this is across the board for your miniature purchasing when you're buying the brick. You're not just getting a crap load of duplicates. Not that, like I said, all dupes are bad. Plus, it was a dust method, which is something you would attack maybe a group of, or maybe a pair of. Wouldn't be too weird. But I gotta say, overall, I'd give this one a really good high score. I mean, not only did I get the awesome Warforged Titan. So nice to get this thing. It's like just awesome. I got a cool Deva, a new Golem, a Sovereign for the Micanoids, another Yanogu, Quagoth, another slave to my dark elves. We got a cool baby a hatchling griffin, the Wormling white dragon. Normally I don't get the Wormling dragons. I have to buy them separately, so that's awesome. We got a new type of ooze. Unfortunately, the Micanoid with his missing arm. I'll keep mentioning it. No, a lot of my giants had this bendy body syndrome for my stone and Formian, but hey, that'll be easy. My Deva might have a little bit, and well as my one Gelvin Mage. Or Magen. But yeah, overall, guys, I say this is a great set. Would I recommend this set to you to buy? Well, let me think on that quick. Oh, done already. Yes, I would recommend it, especially if you're doing a Tundra campaign, as it has polar bears, ice trolls, snow golems, a Quagoth, these kind of creatures you would find in the snow. Plus, you get like a kind of snowish variant Yanogu touched knoll there. Plus, you can get the chance to get this big beefy boy, or the awesome white dragon Wormling, or baby griffin if you want a nice little addition to the animals. That's why I love it, man. Wizards of the Coast and Wiz Kids, keep up what you're doing. And if you guys are still here, thank you. Do subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Make sure you cold smash that like button, or Warforged smash that like button. And leave a comment, question, or ideas down below for the channel if you guys have anything you really want me to cover or something you want me to do. I'll take it into consideration. And also make sure you hit the bell notification to all and share this video with your friends, guys, to help others enjoy the video. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time and have a great day.